those who graduated 10 years ago from computer engineering or computer science, if they stop learning for 10 years and then their skills will be obsolete, that it will not be useful in the job market. But if they keep learning every day, their skills will be updated and it would match the needs of the job market. MOOCs provide an opportunity for continued lifelong learning, right? So most of them are aware of this point. Learning through MOOC has increased my confidence. So we are talking about a sense of self-fulfillment or self-motivation, a feeling of confidence in yourself, because once you learn more about a topic, then you can talk about it and you can discuss it, and then you can link it with previous learning that you are already done. Once you go to a job interview, you can talk with confidence about what you've learned and what you are willing to do in the job. Learning by MOOC develops the process of self-learning, as we said. This would help learners to become more independent. As you know, some students will just say to the teacher or to the instructor, what's going to be included in the test, in the exam? 1, 2, 3, okay. They just memorize it and go and do the exam. Those are not self-learning, they are self-dependent, or they are dependent on others. Those who are self-learning, they know what they need and they try to find the content, knowledge, and the skills which would help them to bridge the gaps in their understanding. So for example, I feel that I need to learn more about technology. I would go and find something related to my interest. And this would make me continuing my learning day after day. Producing MOOC in English represents an obstacle for some Indian learners. As we know, most or the majority of MOOCs are written in English. And this would cause a difficulty for some learners, either because they are not proficient in English, or they prefer to learn in their own language. So here we can see that the responses are quite different from what we've seen in the earlier and previous slides. Here there is some kind of different opinions. Neutral, 33% of the participants were neutral. They are not sure whether language can be a difficulty or an obstacle for them. Let's say a big percentage are happy with learning in English, and some of them, like 20%, don't think that it's an obstacle. Oh, sorry, the majority thought that it's an obstacle. And so a small percentage thought that they are, language is not an obstacle for them, while 33% were not sure. MOOCs are good starting points to learn some new subjects. Strongly agree, most of them are strongly agree that we can start learning something new by just going and studying an online course. For example, I started learning about artificial intelligence. I always hear that there is artificial intelligence, but I didn't have a chance to learn more about it. Once I took a course in Introduction to Artificial Intelligence, then I began to see artificial intelligence all around me and to become more interested to join webinars or short courses, or even to discuss the idea of artificial intelligence with others. So it's like it's opened my mind to a new field of study, and also how to connect artificial intelligence with education, with learning, with dealing with my students, right? My motivation for learning in MOOCs increases when certificates are provided. As you see, most of the participants thought that giving certificates was a good thing. But also we need to be aware that it's not just collecting certificates, it's to see what we had at the end of this learning process. Did we learn something new? Then it's more valuable than certificates, because those certificates are just PDFs, you know? It's just putting your name in a certificate and that's it. And it would make you happy, and makes me happy as well to receive a certificate just to see my records. But in reality, we need to make sure that we are studying for learning's sake, for learning. It's not just for collecting certificates. Okay, we move to the second part now, the effectiveness of teaching and learning design in MOOC. So, which is better, studying in a traditional classroom or studying through online MOOC courses? I'm sure both have advantages and disadvantages. The participant thought that the design of MOOC is suitable for their learning style. Around like 86% were they agreed that MOOC is suitable for their learning style, and simply because they are young learners, they are using mobile phones, they are using computer all the time, and joining online courses would be something like not strange for them. It's something that they do, and they are carrying their mobile phone all day long. With MOOC, I can learn at my own pace, and this is one of the advantages. As you see, most of them agree with this statement, because you can learn anytime. The morning, the evening, when you are in the train, when you are traveling. It's not like going to a traditional classroom, which start at 8 and finish at 9, let's say. It's more flexible. Learning activities in MOOC met my needs. Also, 78% thought that learning through MOOC met their needs. We need to know why the 18% were not sure about it. So this is something that we can investigate more. But it seems that most of them think that MOOC is good. It helped them to meet their needs. The teacher of MOOC provides support. Here we have different results. We see that 34% were neutral. They were not sure whether the teacher and MOOC provide their support. So here we can say that having a real teacher who can interact and communicate with the participant is something that we need in MOOC. It's not just materials which you study by your own self. There need to be a tutor or someone who supports the learning. And that's why 34% were not sure, while the majority agreed that the teacher provides support. The teacher support helped increase my persistence, and this is one important idea. Persistence is to keep learning. Many of us will join MOOC and then just forget about it. We don't have persistent. If we have persistent, we would finish the course, which we enrolled. 41% were not sure, were neutral about that the teacher already helped them to keep learning, because simply most of the courses, they don't have a teacher. Just look at you just watch the videos or write comments, but you don't see the teacher or interact with them live. E-assessment, electronic assessment, is more preferable to me than conventional assessment. And here, assessment is a tricky aspect or a tricky issue, because if we rely on exams and tests, then students can cheat. They can just copy each other's answers. But we need to develop a new system for assessing our students, not just based on exams. We need to develop new assessment tools. Here, 22% were not sure, while the majority agreed that they prefer e-assessment. We need also to know what kind of e-assessment they like. MOOC assessment provides immediate feedback. Well, agree or strongly agree, most of them thought that it gives immediate feedback, but there are 18% who are not sure, and are also not sure how they get feedback on their learning. Is it just by getting the results of the quizzes, for example, or I'm not sure about that. We need to investigate it more. It's difficult to get effective feedback on MOOC that will help me. This is the thing we are looking for. 41% are not sure, while 14% disagree. Almost half of them thought that the feedback they are getting from MOOC is not really useful for them. So this indicates that when we develop MOOC courses, we need to focus on giving feedback. The last part of this study is the social environment. As you know, we are, as a human being, we cannot live